This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a general aviation parts specialist? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Gary Ludwig, with Ludwig and Associates. Gary, it's so lovely having you on today. Now, we are so excited to learn more about you and your company. Please start off and tell our listeners just a little bit more about exactly what you do.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, and thank you for reaching out to me. I appreciate it. Well, we have become in business for 31 years, and I've developed a global network for supporting and supplying helicopter and general corporate aviation parts to the world. I have a hangar here in Addison and have been doing it and have had experience distributing and selling properly certified parts to a global parts need as demand required.
So Gary, how did you originally get into this business? Where was your passion born?
My passion started in high school. I always knew I wanted to be in aviation, and I didn't want to become an airline pilot. I didn't think that was going to be challenging enough. So I went on and got an MBA and decided to pursue aviation, got into the general aviation aspect of it. That would be all your smaller, your Pipers, your Cessnas, your Beaches, your Lears, your King Airs, so those types of, as well as the helicopters. And I started out after my degree at a general aviation operation in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that developed into a larger opportunity in Chicago. And that led me to a transfer and larger opportunity here in Dallas when they determined to eliminate the management level which I was at. I started at a card table in my living room, started my own business, and now have a 10,000 square foot building here at Addison Airport.
Wow, Gary. Now, for our listeners here who may not be familiar with what aviation is, can you explain it for our audience?
Aviation is a very broad network. Everything that you have military aviation, you have airlines. It's aerospace. Aviation is a very generic term for all the various options that exist. You have helicopter aviation, you have airlines, you have military, you have home built, and a lot of various markets within the aviation community.
Now, what is the most popular form of aviation that you personally work with?
I would say a majority of my business deals with about 50% of my business is with the corporate aviation departments who have Lears, Citations, King Airs, Gulfstreams, requiring a brake, a starter generator, a lot of rotables or consumables, which would be an airframe part that they hit a wingtip and they need the extended portion of the wing or dented it or need it repaired. And that's about 50%. About 25% is with the helicopter industry. I've worked with several of the distributions around the world for Airbus, Augusta, Bell, Sikorsky. And the other 25% is general aviation FBOs. And FBO is a fixed base operation. It's that business that you see when you're driving through the community and you see this little one runway with a bunch of airplanes and a hangar. And those are all, generally speaking, personally owned aircraft that people use generally for their businesses.
So Gary, that leads me into our next question here. Now, marketing is the heart of every business. So what does your ideal client look like and how are you attracting
them? With my background and the expertise which I gained and the credibility which I've grown to work very hard to develop, my customer base comes more by word of mouth than anything else, Sophia. people are constantly looking for a good place to go to eat. Well, I'm a good place to get your parts needs if you have a breakdown of an aircraft. I either have it in the warehouse, or if I don't, I have connections with the OEM, original equipment manufacturer, or one of their parts that they have sent out to a shop. So I have networked very diligently and been on one of the leading website providers, something like a MLS in real estate. We have the same thing in aerospace, and I've participated in that since I started the business, which is a global login membership to identifying whom may have a part or a service that someone's looking for to put their airplane back in the air.
So Gary, you have so much experience with this industry. Have you ever thought about having your own podcast before?
I've been blessed to have done a lot of things, and a podcast is probably not something I would do as you do. It would be something that I'm willing to share my information and so on, but to do the logistics and all the work that you've done to prepare us for this meeting just probably wouldn't work well with the situations which I do.
Well, Gary, we know you're well-versed in the aerodynamic space, but let's get into a little bit more about you as a person. You know, outside of work, what do you really like to do for fun?
I like when you spoke with the other clients, have a passion for the industry I'm doing. Older guy, attempting to try to sell the company, but I enjoy it. I don't come to work. I enjoy helping people to put their airplanes back in the air. I have a lot of outside interests. I played golf this morning, as I shared with you this morning. During the years, I've been a leadership role with a lot of philanthropic charitable organizations, because this business has provided me the luxury of time to go out and help nonprofits within the community.
I love that, Gary. Now, we've covered so much wonderful information today, but what all of our listeners really want to know is, where can they go to learn more about Ludwig and Associates?
It's funny you should ask. I went online today, which I normally do, and checked myself out. If you Google Ludwig and Associates, I'm like the first 8 listings, which I really, to be honest with you, didn't even know about. I noticed, and I didn't, that I have a BBB rating. I didn't know that I had Reddit positive feedback. So I would say just going online and doing that, or if it's appropriate, I can give you a phone number. We're more than happy, or an email address. Happy to reach out and start a dialect and see how or where I could assist you in helping you with your aircraft needs. I'm also a pilot, plane over my shoulder. I flew for 5 years and owned and have been partners in several partnerships of flying. So that's another one of my hobbies. So I'm very active in it.
Well, Gary, I really appreciate you filling us all in with that great information today. We really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your listeners out there. I love what you're doing, and you have a great energy and a great idea here. And I do appreciate and thank you. And again, Ludwig and Associates in Addison, Texas.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com, or call 469-221-9345.